Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll also find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam, and also how to make the best use of the time on exam day when you're working through your exam paper. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come, but for this video we're going to have a look at the next part of the 2015 Grade 4 Past Paper C. So if you turn with me to page 17, we're going to move on to question 4. Now this is where we need to refer to some scales. In fact, the whole paper is always making some reference to scales, or a great deal of the paper does. And so at the beginning of your exam, I suggest you make use of your scrap paper and just sketch out the circle of fifths, all of your scales, key signatures related, major and minor keys. If you're not sure how to do that, there's a video that I've done explaining that, and the link to the tutorial is in the description below. And then if you've done that, you've done all of your thinking in one go, and you can just easily keep referring back to it without having to keep on summoning up all that knowledge and scratching your head and wondering what to keep thinking. And so if you've already done that thinking, these next questions are easy peasy. So I suggest you have a little go of this yourself first, and now we'll just check over it together. So here we go. We're asked to write one octave ascending, so we're going to be going up. Just be careful you don't miss that. Of the major scale that has this key signature, so the key signature that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sharps, F, C, G, D, A, is the scale of B major. The last sharp actually is the 7th of the scale, just by coincidence. So A sharp is the 7th, B is the tonic, just another little clue there. That's for major scale patterns, so B major. So we need to be ascending from B in step up an octave. So watch out, we're in the treble clef. Here's your B, and then we want line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. F, G, A, B, B. That's it. We know we've not gone wrong. Next question. So we need to write one octave descending. So now we're going downwards of the scale of F harmonic minor. It says do not use a key signature, but put in all the necessary sharp or flats. We're using semi-breves again as we were before, so no need to worry about stems, and we need to begin on the tonic. So F minor is related to A flat major, which is B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats. And so if we just pop those in, remember we're in the bass clef, so position those carefully. B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats. And then we're coming down bank. So first of all, I've just realised, silly me, it says do not use a key signature. I'm getting carried away here. We need to bear in mind what that key signature is going to be though. So let's just get the note heads in. So we're starting on F, coming down in step, space, line, space, beginning and ending on F. Every step is taken. So let's just apply this as accidentals instead of a key signature. Got a bit carried away there. B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats. Now to make this harmonic minor, remember the second step is to now raise the 7th. Don't forget that we're descending, so this is the 8th, 7th, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the 7th is the E flat, and so in order to raise that we need to get rid of the E flat and that needs to be a natural. So you can either leave it like that, you can put the natural sign, or you can put it in brackets just to show that you know it's not really needed, but you're showing your thought processes there. Be careful to count backwards because we're descending. Otherwise, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you've actually raised the second degree of the scale. So be careful to count backwards. There we go then, that's that question completed. Let's turn over the page and look at the next question. So page 18 takes us to question 5. So we've got to add the correct rests at the places marked with a star in these two melodies. So there's two separate time signatures, so we're going to have to be careful of two separate rules for rests to make each bar complete. It's not just enough to fill in the gaps, we've got to allocate the rests correctly. Just as the same rules for beaming we have for rests, we need to show each beat, each crotchet beat here, or each dotted crotchet beat here, because this is compound time, and we need to give each new beat a new rest. So although we've got a quarter of a beat here, it's not just enough to fill in that gap. So I'm going to finish this last beat first. So we've got a quarter of a beat here. We should have 2 beats in a bar, so that means we've got 3/4 of a beat missing here. So here's our quaver, 8th note rest with a dot. So that now completes that. If it is that your maths is a bit ropey like mine, I'm really not my strong point, I imagine there's a whole beat. I divide it into 4. I can see that I've got 1/4 of a beat here, which shows me that I've got 3/4 of a beat. So I've got half a beat rest here, and then the dot gives me the other quarter. So that's just my way of visualizing the maths there. So that's one beat now complete. So now I know I've got 1 crotchet beat here, and I can clearly see that each new beat has a new rest. So let's move to the last bar now, and we're going to do that same principle. So we've got half a beat here, so we need to finish that first beat with the remaining half a beat, and then I've got the final beat to finish that bar. So that now is complete. So now we're counting 12 quaver beats per bar, and that's compound time, quadruple compound time. So I've got to be showing 4 groups of 3. We can see there's our compound time divisions, and so I need to show each new beat has a new rest. So at first you'd be excused for thinking that the answer to that would be dotted crotchet, beats 1, 2, 3, 4. However, there's an exception to that rule where we can just quickly show half a bar of rest by using a dotted minim. The only thing you have to watch out is that you don't cross the middle of a bar. You can't put a rest or beam over the middle of a bar when it's quadruple time. I think that's just because it's such a long bar, we need to see clearly where each half of the bar is. So that's that completed. So now again, don't forget, in this next bar we've got to be showing 4 groups of 3. And so I'm going to address this last group here first. We've got a 1, 2, there's our remaining quaver or 8th note beat. So there's our last group of 3. We've got 1 group of 3 here. However, this one isn't complete. So we want 1, 2, 3 quaver beats. So we can see that that group is now complete. So there's our 8th note or quaver rest to complete that unit, and so that leaves us with 1 group of 3 left. So our dotted crotchet rest will do that job, and we can see that each new rest has a new beat, and we can definitely see where each beat falls. There we go. So we've just got this last bar to finish, and again it's not just enough to simply fill that bar's silence with a big long rest. We've got to still show those time divisions. We've got to show 1, 2, 3, 4 whilst not crossing over that middle bar. Middle of the bar, I should say. So here we can see we've got 2 quaver beats with this 1 quaver beat missing. So if we use a quaver or an 8th throat rest, there's our 1, 2, 3. Here is our next beat, 1, 2, 3. And then here we can do the same again by just showing the half a bar with a dotted minim rest. That would be correct. What would be incorrect would be to have the minim rest, dotted minim rest here, and then the dotted crotchet rest, because what that would do is have the minim beat going over the halfway point, so that sort of straddles over the bar, so that wouldn't be allowed. However, this way it would. So there we go. That's that question completed. And so I'm going to look at the next questions in the next video. I do hope that that's been helpful to you. If you can give me a like, that would be super. Please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. I hope that this is of help to you. I also hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. Please do go to sharonbale.com. Have a browse at all the resource and information that's available there. Please do give me a like, subscribe to my channel to keep updated, and I'll see you next time. Bye.